Not allowed to chat the vowels, and I don't know.
No chat.
He did it for some reason.
Yeah, and
we'll never know.
He's no chat. He can't talk. Yeah, but by the way, we have Volskaya in our hand. Genji
first pick?
Picking the first map. Okay, Braxis and Spider does make lots of sense as Braxis. Genji just does not like to play on that map too much ever since the map was released. Spider, understandable for Supernova to control the wave because they don't want to lose it from the beginning and then snowball to an end. Volskaya from, I would expect a lot more from Supernova because they said some crazy things, but Gen.G actually picking this map, it's quite unusual.
Then right away, no breaks allowed into our hero selection for picks and bans on game number 1. Of course, Genji on the left-hand side, Supernova on the right. And what can we expect here? I've been seeing a lot of Urel, and I think that's going to continue to be a story just like it was overnight in HGCs around the world. We got to see a whole lot of the, what's her title? The Light of Hope. There we go.
Yeah, Light of Hope, Urel.
Another guy that lights it up, Blaze, I guess
in a different way. But this is I guess a new meta-ish because it just used to be first pick Malfurion all the time, but Phoenix is rising up even after the nerf. And Supernova just respecting Phoenix, how strong he can actually be in lane. And there's a pickup.
There she is, fresh out of the, I forget what temple she's in. I'm not up on my WoW lore. Karabor, something like that. Well, we are going to see...
No, something similar like
from
that.
the Draenei Temple of Care Bear. That's where she's from, and we're going to be seeing a whole lot of her. I can't wait to see how Gen.G want to build her.
Usually, Supernova always just took Malfurion first pick, or even building a way for their team park to actually have like the Maiev last pick or the 4th pick to actually have crazy team fights in total. Picking Phoenix means like they have something in their hand because they were willing to give their favorite Malfurion off to Gen.G, also Irel together.
Yeah, even as recent as yesterday, I've been seeing a lot of high priority on things like Hanzo, but of course I'm not used to seeing Volskaya first picked as far as our maps, so my ways to expect how the draft is going to go are a little bit thrown off here. Instead, it is going to be more Sergeant Hammer. I've been seeing Sergeant Hammer just everywhere. Why is that, G-Clef?
Because Sergeant Hammer pairs so well with Irel, with especially like heroes like ETC and Irel together with Sergeant Hammer. Hammer will never really be threatened, and when she is, she can just pop that plating and get that armor and escape with the 4 talent with Unstoppable. So that has been the real appeal, and she will basically never die. And the only threat that can really happen is Chromie. That's why we see the ban here.
Yeah, very well timed there. You pick Sergeant Hammer, ban the Chromie, and of course Deckard Cain. The second ban there for Gen.G, who will grab that Hanzo I was talking about earlier. Along with Johanna, going to be picking that up as well. I always said Johanna until I read the Hangul, and it's Johanna. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can change that. Is it actually supposed to be Johanna?
Well, it's like John. We say John, but it's also Johan.
Ah, but this is HGC Korea instead of HGC Europe.
But in Korean it says Johanna.
That's right. So that's why I am changing my old ways.
Hanzo to pair up. They lost their hammer, also with the ETC pair up, which Joanna still pairs up pretty well, but ETC has been coming up because of Irel, because Irel can also tank, not just ETC, because oftentimes we just have ETC solo tank. Does have a lot of blow-ups on that pretty nice steak-looking, tasting cow. Because of Tracer just blowing up all the time,
he might
Irel
be
can
actually after the games
he
today.
He might be staked from all those arrows, yes.
When I was growing up, we lived on a farm, and we had cows who were total jerks all the time. We named them beefsteak and ribeye. They were delicious.
Texas, but Thrall, Junkrat. Have not seen that Junkrat for the longest time, but Reset was actually the one to play in Shrine so much. And thinking about Volskaya, they will be playing on that control zone for so many times, for so long of a time, that Junkrat is actually not bad of a tank.
Yeah.
Not bad of a poke.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I hate these new HGC casters like G-Clef making easy mistakes like that. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm super excited to see how this match goes. I didn't see anything super crazy, so I may be slightly disappointed, but I don't think that this match will disappoint, so can't wait to see how Supernova plan to deal with one of the strongest teams in the world in Gen.G.
And Alex picking Alex Raza. I think that fits him really well, as he was known in all here Korea. He always just picks Alex Raza in all games. Here we go, game 1. I think that can just continue. It's kind of weird what we have from Supernova, because Sergeant Hammer you would just see it's just sustained damage and it's on siege mode. And that's why they banned Chromie. They want to fight for a long time, but if you take a look at the rest of the teammates, Alex Raza for the Dragon Queen and Thrall, Phoenix, they actually have lots of burst at the same time as well. And Genji, look at them. They are not even going to go in. They will just poke out, not be in range, and try to take control by taking off the HP off the opponent.
I mean, Alex Raza is a hero that does pretty well against poke damage. His healing over time. It's not one of those like burst heals. Like, I mean, I guess they also do have a little bit of that as well. So maybe more, what do you want to say, well-rounded. Either way, it's hard to deal with Hanzo poke, especially early on.
Very true. So this is the thing. There are so many range from Genji. Supernova, they actually have to go in. Sergeant Hammer alone can't really pick up the kills by doing constant damage. Can harass and really strong in lane. But look at this, against range. Oh no, chat. Having some tough times.
Yeah, I mean, Sergeant Hammer, of course, does really power up pretty weak early on. So it's going to maybe struggle a little bit before things really get into it. But I don't really know what to expect as far as how our lanes are going to go. Like, we already see No Chat having at least a little bit of a struggle down there against Reset. But it's not always going to be that way. I mean, of course, especially once you can move around in siege mode, it makes it a lot easier to group up and have the team fights around those capture points right now.
This is actually a very nice shot call by Supernova, because they kind of knew that they were going for the bottom pin control to take the turret with Gen.G. They knew the rotation, so they decided to take the healing pulse very quick into the game, and they took it against Gen.G, which was very nice rotational work there. And look at that, No Chat. He was trying to win the lane, probably just thinking I may be just up against Zirel top lane, but he actually decided to go to the bottom instead, to go against Junkrat, which is quite questionable for me, because he's just going to lose in range. Here comes the invade, not going to succeed.
Yeah, Johanna getting up there to start off, but backing out. Haven stating, get out. It's our turret, and we'll take that down. No Chat really, really struggling. So he's calling Haven down to say, hey, you take over this lane, and he's going to probably look to swap lanes up towards the top half of the map where he's heading right now.
Yeah, so I was... The exact question I was asking, because he was staying at the bottom, and Junkrat can just outrange him with his Q, with all the grenades that he just throws, and it will bounce because the Chet is on the siege mode. It's an easy target.
Yeah, you know, it feels weird to talk about outranging Sergeant Hammer, right? But if there's one hero that can do it, it is going to be Junkrat. So a great pick there by Gen.G to realize that that is a matchup that they can really win early on.
Even though Gen.G actually lost the healing pulse because of the fast rotation, they actually powered down the Sergeant Hammer's solo laning power from the beginning. And it's already 3 minutes into the game. They already have the camp to push the top, so Sergeant Hammer has to clear that before coming to this control. Really clean rotational work coming down from Gen.G, and also Supernova, who actually got the healing pulse.
Yeah, and Genji on the reset, well, on reset, do reset their lane assignments and rotate up towards the top. But now No Chat is finally getting his first opportunity to really join in this fight in the mid. Tist up front, doing that legendary tanking job. No, Kyocha, you're not allowed to get in there with that Avenging Wrath shut down immediately there by Haven.
Haven's actually a really good ETC. He's been known for his ETC play in lots of hero leagues as well. And you can pretty much tell from just a few face melts how well actually he's catching Take, trying to block him out. Great body blocks coming in, but no help from his teammates so far.
Haven kind of getting that 1v1, but he needs some help. So he is going to be up in the front now, having to back off because, yeah, where was the rest of Supernova?
We'll see. Sergeant Hammer's still at the bottom, trying to just push the lane siege up a little bit because it seems like it's very hard to actually siege up. Well, he's coming with the conveyor belt.
And there's Haven going back in again. Kyocha down below half. Of course, very, very resilient, even at low health, so never something you want to overcommit on. Either way, Supernova do control the point for now. Finally, No Chat whose name I always read with the SN in front, is really going to come into his own as Sergeant Hammer, able to just position himself so effectively on the point, get that long-range damage done.
And I believe Alex is waiting for that Dragon Queen chance. Phantom is getting harassed by Kyocha so hard alone. There's no shield on the Phoenix. Gets some back. Kyocha harassing, pulls one back. Heaven's in trouble. Gets a concussion mine, and Junkrat making some super plays there.
Yeah, Kyocha zoning no chat out. He almost goes down. It's going to have to boost all the way out of there at very low health. Not really able, it's not like he's going to be able to, giant killer his way into the crazy long-range damage just yet. Really remarkably ineffective so far.
That was almost like he knew where exactly he was going to be after the hammer from Mirel, and had that mine actually thrown when that hammer was getting swung at that same moment. So look at the synergy, just having predictive movements. Those are the skill shots that change everything. And even before that, they were losing it. We actually lost the kill on the bottom. Phoenix also died from one more scatter from Hanzo. And Hanzo's quest already finished that before 4 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, that was a very early quest completion. So Hanzo is really, really strong. You're starting to see that immediately result in kills. Phoenix going down there. Obviously, really, really sucks for Supernova because they do want to have at least one lane that can be effective. Now, Haven's coming around, but that's really just to kind of support Bentham. Supports take damage.
If it was on Hanzo on that position, you would face mail first and then try to keep him near the fort range and then power slide later, but it was Zerail, so he just went in with the power slide. That was a decision that Bentham made. Trying to flank around here, buy some time, make sure the fort still stays alive, but Genji there 10. Already Supernova needs some more time before they hit 10.
Protector coming forward, almost out of health, but I think it's going to be just enough to take the fort down, so it'll be, I think, our first of the game taken out by Gen.G.
So pinball. 410, Alex Rada didn't. I don't think Alex actually popped that Dragon Queen for the first Protector fight because they were having such a hard time positioning themselves. They couldn't really have one moment to, okay, let's just have everyone push in. That's going to be the tough one. Zerail just already popping his heroic there, getting 40 armor, but not too bad just to tank by herself as they were having one member missing. Junkrat still at the bottom, harassing the Sergeant Hammer that has been reset's mission here in this Volskaya.
Yeah, it should be noted that in a lot of the Yrel that I got a chance to see, specifically yesterday in HGC Europe, I think it was Method Dignitas series was just all Yrel all the time. Most of the Yrels I saw there went for like an Avenging Wrath build with Ardent Defender. I think it's Ardent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ardent.
But so seeing Sacred Ground here obviously is a little bit of a departure for that, even though you still have the talents for Avenging Wrath. So still trying to figure out exactly how to build that. Why do you think they went with Sacred Ground here?
I think it's because you can't really get too much value out of the defender. You can't really get heavy bursted down. It is possible with the VFG. I think they were just trying to push at that moment, make sure we only have 4 men here, but let's just make sure we have the 4 and we can keep on pushing with our sieging power. That's what Kyocha's looking for. We didn't really see too many Sacred Grounds. So oftentimes it is just an Ardent Defender just to soak up some damage.
Gonna see it again as they look to take down their third fort, and really not a whole lot that Supernova can do to stop them. Gen.G gonna go where they please, and even though Haben's been in great positioning, his team really hasn't committed, but here we're gonna see the salvo come out. It does actually hit quite a bit.
Get the kill onto Alex, and BFG actually catches Hanzo.
Oh my god,
follow-up
tragedy!
Damage is so much more for Gen.G. They're going in, they're going dive. They have the healing pulse as well. They have all the turrets placed on the back and the continuing damage.
Look at Reset go!
No escape. You can't go back home. Even though chat, oh man, he barely survived from this team fight.
Yeah, if Bon Jovi ever wanted an answer to his song, Who Says You Can't Go Home? Well, it's Gen.G. They're not letting Supernova have any safety, even inside their base, and they shove them all the way back behind their second walls after killing, I think, all but no chat.
You think you're safe because you have your fort? But
no.
Against the healing pulse, the 2 turrets, and you have your Sacred Ground as usual, and you still have Johanna as well. So it was pretty tough. Supernova, they just basically lost position from Irel diving in, thinking that, oh, Sacred Ground is all the way on the back, so we'll be safe. Maybe there won't be any dive. They might just poke.
Except there was so much dive.
I know.
That one thing they thought there wouldn't be any of, there was actually a lot of, so maybe somewhat unfortunate there. So yeah, that's all 3 forts down, and even damage on the outer walls. This is just not a great start for Supernova, all the way from the very beginning with Sergeant Hammer struggling in the bot lane.
We talked about some stakes, but I think that's some high quality as Reset is going for a solo kill.
What? Wait, how did you?
With the BFG. Oh, man.
Okay,
and Junkrat actually missed 1 Q because he was so close.
Yeah.
Look what Coach is doing, respecting Dignitas there. Props to all 7 games from the finals. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I definitely thought that was going to be a little bit more sided, but turns out when you miss your Q like that, it was an even trade. Surprise BFG there at the end makes it a 1-for-1, but still, I think that's kind of Reset styling a little bit. Winning that 1v1.
Oh yeah, they're surely having fun. Sergeant Hammer, it seemed like Junkrat was going to lose at the moment, but just having the rip tire and just having the pokes. Something that we don't see too much.
All right, they're getting the style points.
How about they do get the second protector as well? Kyocha has been standing on that ground for basically forever since the beginning, 3 levels apart. Supernova, it seems very unlikely that they will come back. Heaven has been getting caught because of ETC. By himself, it's really hard. With Irel, a lot better. But they lost that Irel before the second ban.
I mean, once Irel hits level
20...
Ooh,
got the Sergeant Hammer stunned, and Rocha barely survived.
Yeah, unstoppable, by the way. Gonna be speeding himself away there. No Chat survives. Unfortunately, Alex Straza not quite so lucky. And hard engages like that are really just the order of the day for Gen.G.
Oh, the moment you just get stunned by the protector, the follow-up arrow from Hanzo instantly, no Chat. He was running away like a speedy man, like a Pepsi man.
He was definitely making a speedy delivery, the Mr. McFeely strat, all the way back to the fountain, and really just not able to participate in hardly any of these fights.
That's why they can't even get the control. The pressure is crazy from Genji. It's basically like the basketball. Oh, you can't hold 2 to twist. You have to change 1. Yeah. It's like having the full court, pressing onto your opponent, making sure you have everything in your hand. Look at that. Having that ground by Kyocha just soaking up. It's not even damaging him. So
2 more levels, he'll be able to carry the ground with him.
Having the chance, but no Mosh yet. Has a chance, but Thrall just gets slowed up.
Jeez, no way. All right, yeah, the Thrall is out of there. What a way to start this out. And Uriel just stands on this 40 armor ground and doesn't really afraid of anything. Even Alex tries to get there. And this is Alex on Alex, by the way, right? I mean, this is a big strength for the team. Hasn't really been able to do anything, even in Dragon Queen.
That's because of the positioning of not just the Alex, but the entire team. You can't really choose. Ooh, bet them almost.
Wow. You could tell Reset wanted that kill so bad. He's concussion mining all the way in there to try to get it. Even Sergeant Hammer back on the fountain. So this is just going to be, I guess, business as usual for Gen.G.
Kyocha just taking less damage with that 40 armor. And the cooldown is, I believe, only 40 seconds. So Kyocha can actually use that quite often. Because she just had that before the keep to actually get that down in the mid lane. That going for the core, 50%.
And that's going to do it. I don't believe... this is where I'm always a little bit skeptical. How much do they commit?
I mean, they can't even get to the back line of Hanzo. That's going to be game 1.
All right.
That's why we see the ground all the time. Kyocha making sure if the opponent comes in and it's not really instant, you can't really blink in. Power slide, when they come in, you can just hammer one out. I think that's what we saw. Look at them. It's like they just had a warm-up game.
Was that first game a dream? Do we need to wake up? No. They might look a little bit... drowsy, but they weren't even really challenged all the way from the level 1 lane assignments through to the first team fight. Just everything, just one win after another for Gen.G. Not really a whole lot of feedback. What's your analysis there? It's 11-1, very one-sided. Was there anything that Supernova could have done differently?
Maybe just have an earlier lane swap with no chat, because against Junkrat, she was just basically giving stacks to Junkrat 4. And I think that's why you're supposed to win lane and dominate actually siege and take some experience by destroying the wall and the turret to go into the fort and then change to another lane, mix up, and then get some more siege. That's the reason why you have Hammer on this map, but they couldn't really utilize that, and Genji had a perfect response with the Junkrat, and they couldn't really do too much in terms of their own ban pick. I think they were really focused on how to just not give everything to Genji with the Rel, Sergeant Hammer, and ETC altogether.
Well, yeah, most certainly not Hammer time today. So that was a rough game one for Supernova. All the way back to week one, the first time we saw them, there's potential there. But I don't really think that they thought through the early lane assignments, just really kind of thrown off from the very beginning.
Yeah, that was tough. I think they lost in terms of drafting.